Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Power Man podcast. My name's Rory Paquette. You all know that at this point. And man, am I grateful to be here. I've got to say to start this podcast that I've been doing this a lot lately, but I'm gushing with gratefulness right now and gratitude towards all of you. When we made the switch to 5 days a week a while ago, didn't know what to expect. You folks have come through, and I mean, just like blazes. It's been insane. You guys tuned in even more, and we've had so many powerful, awesome men telling just unbelievable stories and giving great advice and everything else. And today is no different. This gentleman has one heck of a story for you, and a book that you probably all want to go pick up. The uh, the people who we've had on here lately have been for you. So please remember that. We bring these folks on here so that they can inspire you, help you, and get you through your day-to-day grind. We do what we do for you, and we're grateful that you're here. All right, enough gushing. I'm done with that now. So if you're a friend of the program, and I know you are, then you know what time it is. We've got to pay a couple bills. So let's do that right now. I'm going to take a sip of my preferred beverage. I got to do one more of those. I'm sorry. I get one more. Oh, because I just made it. It's piping hot. Oh, deep, dark, rich, bold, beautiful, just like my wife. You guys know what we're drinking. It is Freedom Hill Coffee at Freedom Hill Coffee on Instagram. Go check them out. They brew a mean bean. They do a great job. It's a great cup of joe. They do all the right things for all the right reasons, and they support veterans, which is why we support them. You guys all know how important veterans are to this program, and here at Power Man. So that being said, head over to at Freedom Hill Coffee. Check them out. Tell them Power Man sent you. I got to get one more of these before we get rolling. At Freedom Hill Coffee, delicious stuff. There we go. All right, and this guy I'm interviewing, he is slamming his own cup of Joe over there. I love it. We are like-minded this morning. We're getting together early on a Saturday morning just for you folks, So I want you guys to appreciate what's going on here. Please welcome to the program the author of the book, A Marriage Broken by COVID, Produced Diamonds for You, Jomel Powell. Jamel, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I want to thank you, Mr. Podcast, for allowing me to be on the Power Man podcast.
Thank you for that. And please don't call my father's Mr. Pocket, man. I'm Rory.
All right, Rory.
All right, there we go. But I appreciate that, man. Listen, Jamil, you've got one heck of a story, man. And I know that you want to tell it for everybody else's sake, and you've got a whole bunch of excellent, takeaways, pieces of advice, and things that you've learned along your journey, and your faith's been important to you. So I'm going to start with just this. Let our listeners know who is Jomel Powell. Where'd you come from, and how'd you get going with your story here?
I'm Detroit born and raised. Uh, Grew up in the city all my life. Um, Parents from Detroit born and raised. Wasn't raised in the church. I was raised in what we call the hood, where it was a lot of different things going on. It was a environment of poverty, environment of lack. So everybody was doing what they got to do to survive, whether it was legal or illegal. And this is the type of environment that I grew up in. But at the age of 19, God pulled me away from all of that and revealed Himself to me. And this is what made me become a part of the church. And then becoming a part of the church led to me becoming a pulpit minister at the age of 19. Then I went through some things in the church that pushed me away. And then I did some backsliding. But then I bounced back to the church again. Also, during that period of time at the church, I had become a Christian artist. I was a part of a rap group, and we did music and toured around the Midwest. Went to juvenile centers, and we even did prison tours before in Michigan. But when I backslid, I had got away from everything, picked myself back up, got back into the church again, and was trying to get back involved in ministry, but that never happened. But I did meet my wife my second time around, and that was one of my biggest blessings that happened to me. And now today, I stand before you as a first time author. So everything that I went through in life brought me to the point now where I'm an author and a father.
Wow, wow, man. That's a great lesson that even when we leave God, He never leaves us, man.
Yes, yes, for
So,
sure.
so even when we think we know what we're doing or we don't, he,
Yes, yes.
he's always there, looking over your shoulder, man. So, that's an unbelievable story, man.
Oh
The
yeah,
Yeah, I can't imagine how tough all that was, coming and going and backsliding means a lot. I get that 100%.
yes.
A lot of us have been through that in our lives.
Oh
Um,
yes,
and in the end, the backslide and what caused it and what happened doesn't matter as long as you get up. And
yes.
so, even if your story ended right there, man, um, congrats on that for getting up,
Oh yeah.
finding your way back.
Yeah, I like to call it alchemy. Like or like the process of gold being made. You gotta go through the fire in order for the alloy to be separated to be more pure.
Oh, wow. Like that. Like that. I might steal that if that's all
Oh
right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's where your faith comes from. I love that. So you are deep in your faith before this unfortunate chain of events happens. And I know that you wrote a book that says a marriage broken by COVID produced diamonds for you. So,
Yes.
tell everybody your story, man, about what led to you writing the book and kind of what happened with you.
Oh yeah. So my wife got contracted COVID during last month of her pregnancy in the third trimester. And we didn't think too much of it. We thought it would just be like some she went through and we got back to life, like because I caught COVID-19 twice. And I got over it in 2 weeks the first time. The second time I was over it in like 5 days. So, in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, she'll be all right. But she started getting worse and worse. And the pregnancy wasn't helping either because with her stomach being so big, it was a hard time for her to breathe.
Yeah.
So I took her to the hospital and I didn't realize that I wouldn't see her for almost 2 months when I dropped her off at the hospital, but it was very scary because um, I saw my mother and father in the hospital, and neither one of them made it back. So I
Oh,
still was dealing with that mentally because I'm like, my wife going through something, but then my mind kept drawing back to like, how my parents didn't make it out, and so many loved ones we lost during the pandemic. Kind of brought about a scare about me. Like, COVID-19 was a major thing. We were having people dropping like flies. So I dealt with a lot of anxiety during that time. And only thing I could do was pray. I was fasting, I was praying, I was hoping that she would be okay. My daughter was delivered through C-section. And of course, I wasn't allowed to see her or my daughter. So that was a little bit frustrating.
mm.
Um,
That was because of the COVID protocols and stuff that were in place.
Yes, yes. At first they told me 10 days, but in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm not going 10 days without seeing my newborn. So I was like, they can say 10 days, but it's not gonna be 10 days for me. And it turned out that after my daughter tested negative twice within a 48-hour window, and I tested negative because I kept going to get tests all the time during that time. They let me know like, hey, you could come and see your daughter. And when I got there, it was like it seemed like it was like some gothic times. Like life seemed dark, but it also seemed like it was rays of sun shining in life too. I walked in there and got to see my daughter and grabbed her, and it was unbelievable, because when I met my wife, I always told her that God let me know that my child would be a girl, and my
Huh.
wife believed me. So before she got pregnant, we came up with a name and everything. So, and even while she was pregnant, we didn't know the gender, but we always referred to her as her because I let her know, like, God already showed me we was gonna have a girl. So to finally be holding her was kind of like, wow, like this really happened. But the tricky thing was when God showed me this, I always imagined it being me my wife and my daughter together, and I imagine they being under these perfect conditions. But the conditions that it happened up under was not what I was thinking. God's promise came to pass, but the road to the promise coming to pass was like not what I expected.
Right.
They say God shows you a vision sometimes, but they say he never shows you the obstacles and hurdles that you have to go through to get to the vision. So that was like a wow moment right there. Like, wow, like it happened, but wow, look at the conditions it happened under.
Yeah.
But I stayed positive through the whole thing as much as I could. I reached out to everybody that I thought was a person that had a relationship with God to pray. I was reaching out to my brothers from the church. That's one of the most important things during this time. Staying connected to people that pray and staying connected to people that's believers because you'll find yourself when you're in a dark time in life, like me, you'll find yourself feeling like depressed and feeling like there's no hope and feeling like you might not be able to deal with what you got to deal with. But the prayer warriors, the brothers and sisters in Christ, be there to motivate you, the true brothers and sisters in Christ. So we was just trying to hang on through a hard time. When my daughter was born, my wife went straight to medically induced coma. So they were proning her during this time because they said proning would, open up her lungs and help her to breathe better and things like that. So, when it was time to bring my daughter home, when they let me know, like, hey, you can come get her, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking of everything to do because I was trying to delay it off a little bit because I can't lie to you, I was kind of scared because I had no experience with raising a child before. Um, and I didn't know how I was going to handle the responsibility. But I reached a point mentally where I said, you know what? I can't leave the responsibility that I have on nobody else. And a friend of mine told me that if you really, really care, you'll figure out how to raise your daughter and everything. If you really care, he said that's what it takes.
Hmm.
So I manned up, strapped on the kahunas, and went up there and got my daughter. And I came home and dived straight into it. But it was very rough because I'm happy that my daughter's okay and happy that my daughter was with me. But at the same time, I'm worried about my wife.
Right.
And this this season with her drug on into 3 years. We still going through this process. COVID left her where she couldn't use her arms anymore or walk. COVID triggered off a bunch of health issues within her, which ultimately led to like an anoxic brain injury because she coded at one point. And when you go without oxygen for a certain period of time, it can affect your brain in a major way.
Yeah.
So that really had me anxious because I was like, wow, like I didn't know, couldn't be in the hospital with my wife because of COVID protocol. All I could do was talk on the phone to doctors and take their word for everything. But it was just so hard to make it through that time, especially when they told me she coded and the possibility of a brain injury and that she might not be the same. That was really a dark time for me, because that's just something that I just didn't want to deal with. Me and my wife didn't have the perfect relationship, but we really loved each other and we really wanted our relationship to be the best that it could. So this happened and just was like, wow. Like I just didn't know if we were gonna lose her or not.
Yeah.
But come to find out, when I finally got to see her, which was almost about 2 months later, she couldn't talk, she couldn't use her arms, and she couldn't walk. Uh, But the first couple of times of me seeing her, I was just asking her a whole bunch of questions just to see where her memory was. And she couldn't talk, but she would like mouth the words. So after questioning her for months in a row, I was like, okay, no, she still got her memory. So that was like, but
Wow.
we went through a season of therapy. Like we were going to therapy for like 2 years. Starting something new is always very hopeful. We made progress in therapy, but she's still not able to, walk and use her arms yet, but she's not as stiff as she used to be. She's able to speak now, but her voice is not as loud as it used to be, and it's not as strong as it used to be, but she's able to speak.
Wow.
And we just looking at the good that happened out of it right now. Our relationship got better. Of course, our relationship with God got better. And me personally, I believe that I became a better man through suffering like this. We always want to be better people, but I'm one of those people that believe that being a better person is not something that just happens. I feel like God puts us in certain situations that we never been in before that make us have to do things we never did before. And I feel like this is what makes us better individuals. Um, I come to know that like life life is about growth, and the struggles that you deal with is what make you grow.
Hmm.
One of my friends talked to me one day and he let me know like something that he heard from somewhere. In order to become wise, at a certain point, you have to feel dumb. In order to become stronger, you have to deal with something that makes you feel weak. So we just want everything to come to us fast because we in a microwave society. You can order something this morning and it'll be to the house this afternoon. You
Yeah.
can go somewhere to get something to eat and get it right in like 2 or 3 minutes. The internet is so fast. I remember we used to get on the internet and have to sit there and wait for the website to load. Now you could just type it in on your phone, boom, it's there. So we've been in a microwave society so long that we don't want to go through a process of dealing with trials and tribulations now, but or everything we want to happen in life, if it doesn't happen within the snap of a finger, we give up. One of the biggest things I feel like I could tell somebody is when you're dealing with something that you have no control over, strap your boots on and be ready to deal with it for the long haul. If you're going after a dream in life, strap your boots on and be ready to go after that dream for the long haul. Like life is all about perseverance through trial and error.
Yeah. Wow, man. Um, how's your daughter doing?
She's doing great. She drives me nuts some days. When she started walking, that's when everything changed. The dynamics changed, and now she's talking, so she always got something to say. But my daughter has been my motivation through this whole thing. I had one time that I was battling with suicidal thoughts, and I looked over at my daughter, and then I thought about it. I thought about like how would her life be without me? Because at that point, I had to think like it's nobody that could love her like me. There's nobody that could be there for her like me and protect her like I can. So I was like, no, I got to shake those thoughts off.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about my wife as well. Like, I got to be there for her. I got to advocate for her. I got to make sure she's being cared for like she should. So I had to shake off those thoughts. But my daughter being with me is like one of the main reasons that I'm like, no, I can't let these thoughts consume me. I got to stay here. I got to endure, and I don't want to speed up my time. God got the time for me, so I don't want to do nothing to try to make it come here faster. Like And I know it's a lot of people that deal with suicidal thoughts.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people deal with suicidal thoughts, and it all comes from like not being based in reality. Like not we got to go through struggles, and nothing comes easy in life. But being that we in the society we in, we feel like if things don't work the way we think they should, or if things don't happen immediately, we instantly start to like feel worthless a little bit. But my daughter has been my inspiration.
There you go.
Even though she drives me nuts some days, she has been my inspiration and motivation to get up and keep going. I want to provide for her what wasn't provided for me. I want to be there for her in the way that I felt like my father wasn't there for me.
Hmm. I hear you. I understand, dude. I've been in that spot, so
Oh yeah,
I am feeling you 100%. And
oh yeah.
uh, it was my kids that pulled me out of it too. You know,
God is good. God is
so
good.
I've been there with those dark thoughts taking you over. Usually, I think because I coach guys all the time, and
Hmm.
whenever guys are telling me that story, and I know when I had that story,
Yes,
you feel that way because you don't feel like there's anywhere to go, like that you're
yes,
out of options,
yes,
and that's where faith comes in, man. People don't
yes,
understand unless they've been there, but because
yes,
faith makes you go, look, you may not see it yet, but you're never out of options. Something will come.
yes,
Something's around the corner. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And brother, I'm so incredibly impressed with you to step up like the way you have, not with your wife, with your daughter, with yourself. I mean, when you look up what it means to lead in your family, I mean, you're right there. That's amazing.
I, I gotta give all praises to God. And I
Hmm.
appreciate you sharing what you just shared with me because it was sincere, and I know you one of the people that been through it just by the way you explained it like that. Like that right there was a blessing to me because I could say this to some people and they might look at me like, oh, really? Or they might not understand, but like you say, you get to a point where you feel like there's no options, there's no way out, or you feel stuck, and you feel like, you know what, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
but man, I thank God for your transparency.
Thank you, man. Thanks for that. Let's
Yeah.
all right, let's get back on track here. All right, come on.
Yeah.
We're doing a podcast. There's people listening to
Yeah.
this. So, all
Oh
right.
yeah.
The
We gotta stay.
That's right. The now you decided to write a book. Is the book this journey? Is it, is it about that? Is it based on this? And then, tell me about the book and what the makeup is.
Oh yeah, the book is based off the story. While my wife was in the hospital,
Hmm.
around the time I brought my daughter home, every time my daughter would go to sleep, I was fasting and praying a lot, but I had pulled my notebook out and I started crafting the story. I didn't know exactly where it would be heading. I didn't know exactly how it would be as an end product, but I just grabbed my notebook and started writing what was going on. And around that time, I was listening to the radio and I heard about a book writing seminar. And it was a guy named Dr. Fred Hogan that had a book writing seminar. So I'm one of them people that I feel like God throws signs in front of us to show us to the next step. So I went to the book writing seminar, and Dr. Fred Hogan gave us a lot of information how to get a book together and how to present a message and things like that. And he called me and we talked on the phone and he kind of gave me some guidance on how to put a book together. And we also met up once too. And we sat together and he gave me some more guidance and coaching. And after those two meetings with him, I just I just flew with it, and the last stages of it was spent with a friend of mine named Deron Smith. He was just kind of giving me pointers that he learned and giving me knowledge that he had. And this is what gave me the finishing touches. And I was talking to him recently, and I was trying to look back and retrace the whole writing process, but it was a blur. So sometimes when I listen to the audiobook version of it, I'm pretty amazed by the final product because the creative process, I don't remember it clearly, but I know that I was sticking to the work as I was going. And this is a book that leaves a cliffhanger because it's going to be a series. You know, I didn't want to put everything in one, and then I wanted to keep this one short and sweet, just to hit the main points that I needed to hit, and let the audience know, hey, we'll be back with more. So I left it with hope. I left it with hope. I left it with messages for people that's struggling or people that feel like they're not getting the answers from God or feeling lost. The diamonds is wisdom gained through suffering, change of perspective, and illumination. So it's a better way to look at things while you're going through trials and tribulations that will keep you from going into those suicidal thoughts.
Hmm. Nice.
But uh, the
Go ahead.
the book, I went and got some producers, a father and son. They're called Beats for Hire in Detroit, Michigan. I've been knowing the father since I was like 15. I took all my chapters to him. They added music scores. Um, they made it a masterpiece, if you ask me. And I think it's not the typical audiobook because with the audiobook, sometimes you just you listen to the information and you listen to the story and that's it. But in this audiobook, you got music scores, you got songs. So I like to call it an audiobook experience.
Nice. Now, is this available just on your website, or is this also on like Amazon or Audible or any of these other places?
Oh, you know what? It's available everywhere,
All
everywhere
right.
that you could think of. Amazon, Audible, Apple, um, Barnes and Nobles, everywhere you can think of, it's available.
And it's an ebook and an audiobook, but not a hardcover, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll have hardcovers real soon.
Okay.
But right now it's on Kindle. Kindle.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So I have an Audible account. So if I go there, I'm gonna find this, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
because
Yes, you will.
I'm gonna buy this today.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm
Thank
gonna,
you.
gonna buy this today. And honestly, I was gonna introduce. I like to collect books, of course. So when it comes out in hardcover, I want to make sure I collect, one of them because I'm interviewing you right now. But I want to hear the score now. I want to I want to hear the event that is the ebook or the audiobook rather, because that
Oh
sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
you put a lot into it, man. I want to check that out. That's cool.
I think you will enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Excellent. So the now in the book, do you give some of this advice that you've given, like on your bio that I saw and things like that, or is that a different type of project
Oh nope, nope. That's in the book.
that's in the book?
Yes, yes. Like some of the being that I had to be alone so much, being that I reached a point that I was without the answers, I had to sit. And while I was sitting, I had a lot of time to think, pray, and get my mind reformed. And the diamonds are the wisdom that I gained through suffering. And I made sure that everything that I was taught by the Spirit of God, that I dropped it in most of the chapters. There's probably only one chapter that I didn't give some insight that God gave me, but most of them is based with that enlightenment at the end that I received for the listeners.
Nice.
You know, because it's like God gave me this, but here I want to present it to you.
Right. Love that. All right. So if I can, Maybe
Hmm.
we can talk about a couple of points from the book. Just give everybody a little idea of what's in there. I don't want you to give
Oh
away the
yeah.
farm. I mean, don't give everybody the secret sauce. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they got to buy the book if they want to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you do talk about, the diamond mindset, and you do
Yes.
talk about turn pain into power. You want to touch either one of those topics and maybe give a little what you mean by that, just so people can get a taste of what's inside the book. But
Oh yeah. The diamond mindset. I don't actually mention that in the book, but that is
okay,
the framework behind the book. Just for looking for the wisdom, change of perspective, and enlightenment out of our life struggles.
okay,
Uh, One of the main ones that I would like to share that I think is very valuable, that was valuable to me, is to move forward with life scars. You know, after we cried every tear that we could cry, after we've been through the worst that life can offer us, I kind of got to a point in my life where I was like, you know what, everything that was bad that I felt like could happen, happened. You know, I cried, I prayed, I did all of that. So I got to a point where it was like, it's time to get up and it's time to move forward. So sometimes you got to get up and move forward, even when everything's not the way that you hope it to be. Like my life still wasn't walking yet. Still haven't recovered to the point that I would like her to. We were struggling financially a little bit. Going through different struggles, had a car stolen,
oh,
two cars stolen actually.
man,
Just because when you're going through stuff, the things of life just keep on going on. The world and Satan goes on with whatever they got going on. So the thing was to move forward. Like so I got up, I went back to working again. I got up, I started working on this book. I got up and started trying to live life, make the best out of life that I can. So me and my wife, we started going out every few months to go out to dinner. Uh, we started trying to do things together. Like we even watched a movie in the rehabilitation center together with the lights off. We had us something to eat, watched the movie. Like it's all about moving forward and trying to find a way to live even when you're not in the best conditions or what you feel that's not the best conditions, just trying to live,
yeah,
and find the beauty in life, like not just sitting there being stuck and depressed and sad and moping. We got to move forward and we got to live.
I don't know how you have that attitude, dude. I mean, if that's the diamond mindset, sign me up. But wow, I mean, for you to be even talking this way with everything you've been through is amazing all by itself. And I'm so completely impressed with everything you're doing, man. It's amazing. It just really is. Um,
Yeah,
Thank you for coming on here
right.
and sharing all this with everybody. The um, so when's the podcast coming, man?
Oh, you know what? I thought about that. But once I get my slate clean and get a little more time freed up, that's definitely something that I would like to do.
Yeah, I was going to
Um,
say you tell a great story. So you should probably be on this side of the mic, interviewing other people with stories like that, man. You'd be huge. That'd be awesome.
you know what? I don't know. I think you planting to see it in me. We gonna see. We gonna see how big it get. You might have
Okay.
put a tree seed in me.
All right. Well, I'll do you one better. I do podcast coaching, but if you decide you want to do a podcast, I will help you get started for free.
Okay.
For free.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Because
Thank you.
yours is a story that needs to be told. You need to keep pushing the book and get that out there to people. But if you decide you want to do a podcast, you contact me direct and I'll help you. End of
Okay.
story.
Okay.
Right
Man,
there.
you know what? I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for that. That was my blessing for today. Thank you.
Mine too, I think. I think there's a reason that you meet people, man. And I've been getting constant reminders lately, about uh, feeling gratitude, feeling grateful, things like that, and about, giving back and everything else. And man, you come on, you have a message like this morning, you have the attitude you have, and I'm blown away, brother. I really am, and I don't get that way that often because I hear stories every day. But I can't even imagine what that would be like to go through, and here you are every day doing it. So power to you, brother. Big time.
Oh man,
Big time.
thank you. Without that big man upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have made it this far. And
Yeah.
it's all because of faith, all because of faith and hope.
Right.
That's the reason I keep going.
Now, I know you and your wife have a long road ahead of you. Are the
Yes.
doctors giving you any kind of idea about, the hope for more progress, anything like that, or is this just kind of up to God at this point?
You know what? It's up to God and in His hands. We did therapy for almost 2 years. Real soon, I'm going to try something else that we never tried before, but I'm not planning on giving up. God had to come visit me Himself and tell me to give up. I feel like she's gonna walk again one day.
There
I
you
feel
go.
like she's gonna walk again, and say for instance, Joseph's journey from the pit to the palace. I was told that was about 13 years, and from David being anointed as king to actually becoming king, I want to say that was like about 15 to 20 years. And in between, it was just a lot of obstacles they went through and setbacks, but they still made it there. So even though my wife is not walking, I'm looking at this as a marathon, and we gonna keep going. And no matter how many years it takes, we gonna keep going.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Love your attitude, man. And my family and I'll be praying for you guys for sure. 100%.
Thank you,
All the
thank you,
time.
thank you.
All the time. You've told a fantastic story here today. I think there's a lot of people who are going to go out and pick up this book. Folks, you want to support this guy. Make sure you go find this book on Audible, on Amazon. I'm going to post his website in the show notes. Go there, do what you can to support this guy who's supporting his family and doing everything he can do here. It's up to us to help each other in this world. And that's why God puts us all together like this in community. And this guy is part of our Power Man community as of right now. So I want to make sure that we're all doing everything we can for him. Reach out. If you guys can't find him someplace, contact me directly. I know you can find me, so don't lie. All right. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. And we'll definitely help you out. Jamel, I want to make sure that you have such a story that I want to make sure that I've done it justice. So before we wrap this up, I just kind of want to throw it to you one last time. If there's anything that I didn't ask you about, anything that we didn't cover, maybe one last nugget you want to leave with people,
Yeah.
anything like that, the floor is yours, man, to close us out. What do you got?
Well, first, I just want to thank you again because sitting here talking to you, like every time I do a podcast and talk to someone, it's therapy for me, and I find freedom in being open. So I thank you for your space and allowing me here, to allow myself to get a little more free talking to you. So I'm thankful for that, and I just want to let everybody know that hey, sometimes life gets hard, and sometimes it's hard for a long period of time. So you need faith. You need faith in God to get through it when it's a hard time, to keep yourself sane and keep your peace. Keeping your mind on Him keeps you in peace. So hang on, and there's sunshine on the other side.
Love that, man. Love that. Great parting sentiment. All right. Joe Mel Powell, author. A Marriage Broken by COVID produced diamonds for you. All right, you guys, look it up. Jamel, thank you for coming on today, brother, and telling your story. It meant a lot.
Thank you. You're welcome, and I appreciate it being here.
You got it. You got it. Folks, this has been another episode of Power Man. And the reason that we bring on powerful men like this who step up, who lead in the face of adversity the way they do, the reason that we tell our stories on here is because if people like Jamel and I can get past this stuff, if we can keep moving every single day, if we can come back from the brink, you know what? So can you. And you have value. And that's a big, big message that we all want to give to everybody who's listening. You have value and you matter. And if you're ever on that brink, man, think twice, contact somebody, reach out to me. You know what? I'll be here. I'll talk you off that ledge. There's absolutely no reason to feel the way you feel and to give into it because there's always another step, even if you can't see it, brothers. Always.
Yes.
Hang
Yes.
in,
Yes.
hang in, hang tight. Um,
Yes.
you have value and you just got to believe it. Until next time.